Welcome into the show today. I'm joined alongside T Boner. Tony, it's been a while. And here we are. T, how you doing? A lot to catch up on. Your Eagles won the Super Bowl. Lots to catch up on.
That's one of my favorite things whenever somebody's doing a podcast and they're talking. They're like, I just can't believe that happened. There are so many things to talk about right now. There's the one thing, and there's just so much other stuff. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about here.
Oh, I know what I'm talking about. I just can't say it until it comes.
Well, speaking of, no, it's it's been a while. I think the last time we were trying to set up another one of your quizzes with 952 Jacob.
Yep.
And then I think I couldn't do it that day, or he couldn't do it, and then you just never called me again. So
yeah, you guys ghosted me.
I was gonna. I think you might have that reversed, bud.
Really?
Bod.
I try to make it work. I try to have my people talk to your people. Anyway. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening on Apple or Spotify, hit that subscribe button. Show up in your feed Monday through Saturday, and the reels will be there too. Did you go to the championship parade?
I didn't. I actually
a few years ago you did.
I did, yes. See, this one was different, and here's why. When the Eagles won in 2017, that was like 70 years total, not in my life. I've only been alive for 36. But at the time I was 31, whatever I was. And that was just a culmination. It's the first one. So it was a culmination of all of it. And since I was, 4 straight NFC championship games, hiring Andy Reid, firing Andy Reid, like just all these things built up, and the Eagles had finally won a Super Bowl. So I'd always said since I was 10 years old, I'm going to the parade if they ever won a Super Bowl. Finally did it. Went to the parade. It was terrible. I don't know if you noticed about Super Bowl parades, but there are a lot of people there.
Oh, really?
There's just like...
I had no idea.
You were just boxed in. You couldn't move. So I went with my wife, I went with 2 buddies, and we're not big partiers, we're not big drinkers, kind of that just whole scene. And that was just everywhere. It was just like chaos and mayhem. I don't regret going because, again, first time, I've always said I wanted to go, wanted to experience it one time, but that's all I need to experience it. Don't ever need to go to another parade or anything like that.
What's crazy to think about the Eagles' run over the last 10 years is that you guys arguably had one of the top 3 head coaches ever in the NFL. Never won a Super Bowl with the guy. And then you win one with Doug Peterson, and then you win another one with Nick Sirianni.
Been to 2, have won 1, yeah.
What? Been to 2, won 1?
With Sirianni.
Oh, right. So, yeah, you've been to 3 Super Bowls in the last...
7 years.
7 years?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And you're doing this after you fired Andy Reid.
Yeah. With coaching changes, with, we haven't had a GM change, but, Howie Roseman has been, at least in Philly media and Philly fans, just widely criticized before pretty much 2022 when they went and played the Chiefs the first time. There were a lot of bad draft picks. There were a lot of bad free agent signings, even going back to, the Chip Kelly days of DeMarco Murray, Danny Watkins. These are names that Philly fans just cringe at. But, yeah, it's been a pretty remarkable run. And the thing is, I think they're built for at least a couple years.
Yeah, it seems like it.
3-4 years. They have a lot of good young talent.
Saquon Barkley's still in his prime.
Yeah,
as long as he stays healthy, and he did this year.
Yeah, Barkley, Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard. Those are all guys who are under 30 years old. The defense is super young, too. Got a couple key free agents, but, I mean, every team does. So
Right.
I'm hoping they'll bring back maybe one or two of those guys. But, I mean, they've proven over the last couple of years they can go into the draft. They can find steals in free agency. So they should be good for another run in these next few years.
Do you think the tush push should be banned?
No. Stop it. Stop the tush push.
Why not?
Why should it be banned?
It's a tough play to watch, don't you think? Especially with what happened against the Commanders, the guy jumping over the offensive line 4 times in a row, and the officials literally making an announcement that we can literally reward the Eagles for a touchdown if you keep on doing this stupid crap during this game.
So here's my thing, and it's not an original thought. It's something that I heard the other day. But if you
What
can't,
is an original thought?
it's when you think originally. So if you can't stop it on 4th and 1, don't let the Eagles get to 4th and 1. Stop them on 1st, 2nd, or 3rd down, and then maybe you don't even have to worry about the tush push.
Sure.
So I mean, I can see people saying, pushing hurts, but or pushing the quarterback with that. But again, the Bills do it, and then pretty much nobody else. But the Bills don't do it as good as the Eagles do it. If you want to maybe take away the pushing of the tushing, sure. But again, just stop it. I don't think it would be. I think it would be minimally less effective if you take away that portion of it. I still think the Eagles' offensive line and Jalen Hurts are going to convert that 9 times out of 10.
And here's why I don't think it should be banned either. I was kind of pushing them against it just to kind of ruffle.
Oh, I know.
Just to fiddle with you a little bit.
You got it's a little foreplay.
A little foreplay. Let's mess around here. Let's get heated. It's only an unfair advantage for the Philadelphia Eagles, but it's not an unfair advantage for. I'm saying that wrong. For every other NFL team. What I mean by that is the Buffalo Bills, the Vikings, a bunch of other teams have attempted the exact same play that is an unfair advantage for the Eagles, and they've done it unsuccessfully. Look at the Bills. They did it unsuccessfully like 2 or 3 times against the Chiefs. The Eagles have been the only team that have been able to successfully make that play happen. So I don't think it should be a ban because the Eagles somehow make that play work. I think the Eagles should get credit for somehow making that play work. Other teams can't do it because they don't have the skill guys or power or whatever it is to do it. So I don't think it should be banned either.
No, the Eagles practice it, and just because nobody wanted to ban Tom Brady's quarterback sneaks in the 2000s and 2010s. Those were automatic on 3rd and 4th and 1.
Right.
Again, there wasn't the pushing aspect of it, but they were able to do that. I don't think the push part of it wasn't banned until 2005, 2006. Something like that. So, just because the Eagles have mastered it and no one in the NFL can stop it.
Right.
You want to ban it? No.
I think it's dumb. I think it's an unfair thing to penalize a team that can convert that play.
I want to ask you a question. I want to flip the roles here, okay? The Maryland to Florida to Texas. Tony podcast.
Yes.
Name needs some work, but
all around the world with Tony.
That's why you're the king. That's why you're the best. Just right off the top.
Oh, baby. I prefer being on top.
Oh, I like a bottom. I'm the bottom.
You're a bottom guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far do we want to take this? Just stop there? Is this
go as far as you want, bud. I don't think we're getting fired from this.
No. So,
Should that Tush push be banned?
Oh, that's where you're pushing the Tush.
I've thought about going back to Tim Testes.
Listen, my graphic design skills are way better than they were 7 years ago.
Do you still have that graphic?
You know what? I've looked for it many times. Like, it's got to be in my email somewhere, but no.
Because I would
don't.
change my YouTube logo from what it is to that logo if you still have it.
No way you would.
Yes, I would. 100%.
So I found those.
I think it's an eye-catching logo. So if you do that thing again for me, I would upload that as my YouTube logo instead of just the face of me.
I just Googled, cartoon testicles, and that's what came up. And then I think I just did a font or a Photoshop of Tim Testes and put it on there.
These steaks have balls. Yeah. With the headphones around it.
Yeah, the headphones around the balls. I was trying to do like the balls as a microphone, but my skills weren't as good back then. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I could do that
what you
now.
got, bud.
Right here. Where's AI? I've been trying to work on AI lately.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me testicles as a microphone for a podcast.
Maybe go to Grok.
Are those my balls? I'll do my balls as your microphone. Okay. Back to my question. So with this Minnesota Vikings roster that you have, assuming JJ McCarthy is going to be your starter going into the next year, and we still got free agency, we still got the draft. Do you see any sort of parallels between maybe the 2022 to now Eagles in what the Vikings are building? Got a young quarterback heading into his second year. Didn't really get any experience or anything last year, but he's got a year under his belt, knows the system, knows the offense, is probably going to be the guy. Good, receiver, pretty talented defense.
Here's the difference between those two rosters. And I can't remember what the Eagles were a few years ago when they won it with Peterson. But the way the Vikings are currently constructed, and it's their plan to address it this offseason, is the Vikings' interior offensive line is weak and soft. The Eagles' offensive line is strong and powerful. Same thing as the defensive line. The Vikings' interior defensive line is weak and soft. The Eagles, Jalen Carter, enough said. Same thing with the secondary. The Vikings secondary, I don't know who's playing cornerback next year for the Vikings because Stephon Gilmore was a one-year contract guy. Shaq Griffin, one-year contract guy. One of their first-round picks towards ACL before the season started. One of their third-round picks tragically died in a car crash. I don't know who's going to be in the secondary next year. So from the outside looking in, you look at McCarthy and Jefferson, and also, why are we so sure that McCarthy is such a sure thing? Like, because he played one good preseason game against the Raiders, it looks like he can at least be a solid starter. But are we sure we're so sure that he's going to be a top 10 quarterback in the league one day? We got to wait and see on that. So, as exciting as things are for the Vikings right now, as the 2025 season is 6 months away, let's wait and see that if J.J. McCarthy is actually going to be the guy that we all hope that he can be. He played one preseason game, missed all physical reps this past year. He did a little virtual reality thing, so he got some mental reps in. But what's so funny about that?
Just I don't know. The VR to be able to get practice reps in. I get it. I understand it.
I actually think that there was an advantage to that this year. That a quarterback in 2005 couldn't have. Jaden Daniels, when he was drafted, the one thing that he requested was virtual reality so he could. What he did was he sped it up, virtual reality, to like 1.75, and then when he took the football field, things felt in slow motion. Who knows how much of an impact that made, but maybe it made a little bit of impact.
Yeah. I don't know. I understand it. I see it as a tool. I see how it could be helpful. I just think, honestly, in like society and culture, how that's where we're at.
Right.
Is just, using that kind of stuff. Plus, I just imagine like Jaden Daniels wearing that and then actually trying to like run around in this little boxed room, and he's running into walls or tripping over a table or jumping into the TV screen.
Right. So, it's interesting, and I don't think the Vikings should or will do this, but with the quarterback draft being so weak this year, everyone's been saying that if McCarthy came out this year, he'd been the number 1 overall pick. Well, if the Vikings teased and fiddled with J.J. McCarthy a little bit, like, what could they get in return? What could J.J. McCarthy fetch in a trade package when we are not even sure that he's going to be a top 10 quarterback in the league? I think sometimes we get far ahead of ourselves and just, we got McCarthy and we got these guys. And it's like, we don't even know what McCarthy is yet.
Do you think the roster is solid enough around him that even if he's not, if let's say he's a middle of the road quarterback, if he's literally 15th, ends 2025 with, 3,200 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 15 picks. Let's say 7 picks. Let's say he limits the turnovers.
Yeah.
Let's say, and uses his legs a little bit. 400 yards, 4 touchdowns on the ground. Do you think the roster is solid enough where maybe not a Super Bowl run, but they could duplicate the regular season success that they had this year with Sam Darnold? Because I don't think that that's a leap to say that J.J. McCarthy's floor. I never know when you do the floor ceiling.
Right.
I never know because I'm dumb. Which
the
one
floor
is
is
which?
bottoming out. Like, how bad can you be?
No, I get that, but when you compare it to somebody else, his floor was Sam Darnold last year. If I'm saying that correctly.
Right. That would mean that
his
worst
ceiling
he could play
is
was
Jesus.
was with Sam Darnold last year.
Yeah.
So it'd be ceiling. Could his ceiling be Sam Darnold of last year? Because Darnold had 35 touchdowns and 12 picks.
No, but the ceiling would be how high you can go. So the ceiling could be Aaron Rodgers 2010, but his floor
like
Sam
career
Darnold
or
last
next
year.
season?
Next season.
Next season, he's not going to throw for 35 and 12 and over 4,000 yards passing. I would be shocked by that. 14 and 3.
Justin
again?
Jefferson. Yeah, but record doesn't matter. The Eagles were 14 and 3. They were the second seed. Still had to go through 3 playoff games to get to the Super Bowl and then win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You can be the 6th seed, you can be the 5 seed, and I don't think it's that big of a difference game wise. It just it depends on the team too. I mean, the Commanders were in the NFC Championship game. If you didn't know that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay.
I did. I thought you were going somewhere else with that, and you just stopped.
Period.
Period. Thank you. Period. Comma. That's a good question. And I don't think that McCarthy is going to come out first season to be electric. I think that he's going to be a guy that takes calculated risks. And I think he's going to be more similar to that, like, 21 touchdowns and, like, 5 picks kind of quarterback. And I don't think the team around him – we'll see what happens this offseason because the Vikings have a ton of money to spend. And so they're going to sign offensive linemen and defensive linemen and secondary players. So the roster could look completely different in a few months. And they still have a first-round pick, too. So maybe I'll be – switching my tone in a few months on how good I think the Vikings can be next year. But I look at the Vikings and I'm thinking 9 wins next year. And which isn't bad. That's a good first season under McCarthy. But I looked at Aaron Rodgers' first year with the Packers starting, and he was 6-10. I think that there is, well, you look at Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels, and there really wasn't that much room to or they didn't really need that much time to put it together. So maybe the NFL is different now. But for Caleb Williams, he did. It kind of depends on the quarterback and the situation and what they're in. So I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place right now because Caleb Williams had Matt Eberflus as a head coach. McCarthy's got Kevin O'Connell, the QB whisperer. So I could see the Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels season for McCarthy because of the situation he's in. And Caleb Williams, what he went through is not a similar situation to McCarthy. I'm just kind of all over the place. But
maybe that's a better comp or a better way to put it. Is his floor Bo Nix? Or what's he closer to? A floor of Bo Nix or a ceiling of Jaden Daniels? And when you factor that in, not just his play, but team, offensive line, how the defense plays. Because I think here's my hot take for the episode.
Oh yes.
And it's just going to be a quick drive-by take.
Drive-by.
A drive-by.
Are you gonna wave as you go by?
I'm gonna wave, take you out, and then I'm gone.
Okay.
I don't think that Sean Payton is as good of a coach as he's made out to be.
Interesting.
I understand he's been in the league forever. Drew Brees. I think he won a Super Bowl, obviously, with the Saints. So I don't think you can say he underachieved, but I think it's similar to like Aaron Rodgers only winning one Super Bowl with the Packers during that time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I say that to say, I think Kevin O'Connell. Why am I blanking? O'Connell?
Yeah.
Why am I blanking on his name?
Actually, Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson, former Suns guard, and now he coaches in the NFL.
He transitioned seamlessly from the Phoenix Suns point guard to Vikings head coach.
How brave of him to transition. I think that Kevin O'Connell.
Speaking of transitions, I got something later on. I do. Seriously.
I think that Kevin O'Connell is a better coach and QB whisperer than Sean Payton, and I think he's a better coach than Dan Quinn.
Why is QB whisperer the word for guys that can take quarterbacks and make them something? Like, what's with the whisper? Like, why is it?
Yeah.
Why are you a whisperer?
Is every quarterback coach on all 32 teams a quarterback whisperer?
But like, why is it called the whisperer? Why isn't it like quarterback unlocker? Why is it he's a quarterback whisperer? What's that even mean?
Quarterback soother.
Soother, unlocker.
What's
molder. Quarterback molder.
Synonym for whisperer.
Synonym for whisper.
Quarterback sensual coordinator.
That's a good one. Synonym for whisper. Let's see. Whisper. The definition of whisper.
When you talk whisperingly.
67 words. Muttered, murmured, mouthed, chirped, squeaked.
Quarterback mouther.
Voiced, sonant.
Quarterback soothsayer.
Hey, I like that one.
So you've got the quarterback soothsayer and Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just I don't know. I could see.
Speaking of transitions, saw a video the other day. I'm gonna play it here in a second.
Uh-oh.
I'm still looking for a whisper definition. And the game that we're gonna play, a person who whispers.
Name that penis.
The game that we're going to play right now is you have to try to guess which player
Greg Lewis.
Greg Lewis is not a trans, I don't think.
Oh.
I don't think he is. Yeah.
Maybe.
In this video clip, you have to try to guess which player is a male playing a female sport.
Oh, jeez. George Mearson. Ball.
Oh my god. Oh.
Cleaning up on the board. Why are you laughing?
Flexed on him. Flexed on him.
It does the big balls and
What's slow motion?
okay, I get it.
Oh man, I think we get the idea. Okay.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Can you tell which player it was?
was it the one who missed the layups?
Got their own rebound. Padding their stats.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Does the Antoine Walker big balls dance?
Sam Cassell coming off the floor. Oh my gosh.
That would be an awesome like troll job if a trans man playing a woman's sport did the big balls dance out of excitement.
Oh my gosh.
And then they did the whoosh for chopping them off. And then a teammate comes and picks him up.
And then puts headphones around him. There's my podcast logo.
Puts him in a jar and holds him up.
It's like David slaying Goliath.
Puts his ball in a slingshot.
Takes out his sword, kills him. Oh. I thought that video would get us there.
His ball see Bathsheba bathing on the
And they're restored. The balls are like a chicken with the head cut off, still flopping around.
We are so back.
Oh, it took 27 minutes. Oh. Name's gonna be my podcast title. Can you guess the trans player? Oh.
See you next week on. Oh my, that was good. That was very good.
Wow. Oh man. Did you see that you could participate in Major League Baseball if you wanted to? Did you see this story?
I didn't do per tell.
Okay. So I think the one thing that was holding you back from being a member,
My balls.
well, of Major League Baseball, or particularly a member of the New York Yankees. Let's see here. Let me pull it up.
I did see this.
The Yankees have announced that they will end their policy that banned players from having facial hair. Yankees remove beard ban after 49 years. I never knew that was even a thing. Because I thought Derek Jeter had a little bit of a beard going on. Maybe not. Maybe he's always fresh cleaned. Mm-hmm. So if you wanted to play for the Yankees, there's nothing holding him back anymore.
I'm in. Don't have to. They've offered me several contracts, but I refuse to shave the beard. So stick to my guns here.
All right.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, cool.
Yeah. I just wanted to let you know that that's now an option for you and your family.
Were you a big baseball person? Did you play baseball like growing up?
Until like 6th grade, I did. I stopped. Retired.
Yeah, I did till like 10th, 11th grade, maybe 9th, 10th grade, something like that. Baseball was always my favorite sport. I loved baseball growing up. My son just started playing flag football, and they have practice on baseball fields. So we went there. We actually had practice last night, and there were kids playing on the other field, and it always just takes me back. Just throwing the ball around. It was great. I didn't have a brother, and a few of my friends, they liked baseball. They weren't into it as much as I would. So I would take a tennis ball, would flip up our picnic table, and I would take a tennis ball, and practice field and grounders to myself.
Look at you.
I was a lonely, resourceful boy.
A lone wolf. A dragon. I thought this video would be funny to play too. This is a Trump clip. Yeah, take a look at this one. It's funny.
Give it to me, bud.
You got to listen carefully. Let's see here.
This issue because we saw and it is evident that how the deep state of United States was involved to regime change during the Biden administration. And then Muhammad Yunus made Junior Soros also. So what is your point of view about the Bangladesh?
And what is the role that the deep state played in the situation in Bangladesh?
Well, there was no role for our deep state.
Did you catch it?
This is something that the Prime Minister has been working on for a long time.
His answer means nothing, but did you catch it?
I didn't catch it, no.
All right, listen to the question very carefully.
Say about the Bangladesh issue because we saw and it is evident that how the deep state of United States was involved to regime change during the Biden administration. And then Muhammad
Take a look at the guy behind Trump as well.
Yunus made Junior Soros also. So what is your point of view about the Bangladesh?
And what is the role that the deep state played in the situation in Bangladesh?
Well, there was no role.
What is the role of the deep state in the Bangladesh?
The funniest thing about that clip is that the reporter that's asking the question is speaking in English.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy behind Trump is telling him what the English speaker is saying. Just thought that was funny.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's, I don't know. I got nothing for that one, man. I'm sorry.
Really? Hey, sometimes they dry up.
Sometimes they flop. I did see it. Did remind me of what a couple weeks ago when
See,
he
so you
was
do
like,
have something. You do have a little something here. You got something.
when he a reporter asked him a question from a different country, and he was like, "What accent is that? That's a beautiful accent, but I don't have any idea what you're saying."
I don't understand a single word that you're saying. That's funny. Well, one more topic that we can attack. Axe body spray.
Attack life.
One of the worst smells in the history of smells. Do you agree or disagree with that take?
No, not worst smells. It's not my thing, but not worst smells in the history of smells.
I can't believe Axe body spray is a thing. When someone sprays Axe body spray to try to overcompensate for something that really stinks, I think it makes it smell even more.
Yeah. Like just the original Axe, or like 'cause there's a million different, I almost said flavors, but smells.
Oh man, yeah. The original Axe stinks. Anyway, I just randomly thought about that. I was having a conversation with someone the other day that was talking about Axe body spray. I'm like, that's like one of the worst smells ever. I'd rather smell my asparagus' pee than Axe body spray.
Did you ever do like the Axe bath or the Axe equivalent of whatever you would use as like a teenager?
Oh, like a shampoo?
No. Like you're a disgusting, 15, 16-year-old boy, and you hadn't showered in 3 days.
Yeah.
So you just think like, I'm just gonna do Axe all over myself. I would do it with the Old Spice spray, because that was relatively new when I was a teenager.
I'm still an Old Spice guy.
Yeah, me too.
The deodorant's the best.
I never really did. Like, I think I may have bought like a few bottles or sprays of the Axe when it first came out, but yeah, I've always been Old Spice, Pure Sport.
Pure Sport.
Pure Sport.
I do Timber.
Timber, okay.
Timber. Yeah, it's very, very radiant smelling.
When I was 14 and started buying deodorant, I was like, oh, there's a deodorant that says sport on it. I like sports. I'm gonna get that one, and I've never changed.
Really? You don't even like test other ones?
I've done like if Pure Sport's been out, and I've gotten like the white one. But no, just
really?
Pure
Wow.
Sport.
You gotta spice things up and go a little different direction sometimes, because they have like a Wildwood that sometimes I'll try, or a Fiji.
That's the
I've tried
nickname
before.
I have for my wiener. Wildwood.
Contain it. You can't contain it.
It's never controlled. Gotta have a controlled force burn for my wild.
There you go. Controlled burn. Something.
A helicopter comes and drops water.
Amanda brings a bucket.
Amanda brings food and clothing because my wildwood forest burns. It's just uncontrollable. What?
One of the biggest California wildfires was caused by a hammer spark. And it burned like thousands and thousands and thousands of acres back in like 2017 or 18 or something like that. Mm-hmm. Just think the amount of acres your bush could burn in Texas.
It's been a wet. What in the world? It's been a wet season in Texas.
What's going on over there?
My wildwood's out of control. Banging up against.
Trying to get out of his cage. Let me out. Let me out.
You just mentioned his name. He arises and wakes.
Like a Sasquatch.
It's like a grizzly bear coming out of hibernation.
Man, I love the shows about Sasquatches. There's a show called Expedition Bigfoot.
You've told me about this, yeah.
That comes out every Wednesday. And here's a theory on how they should catch them. So they talk about the Sasquatches mating all the time. Like, oh, there must be a mating call or something. Here's my theory. One of the Expedition Bigfooters, one of the researchers, should put on a Sasquatch uniform and just bend over and see if that lures them out.
Just butthole exposed. Did you see Sasquatch? I smell a Sasquatch butthole. Axe should put out Sasquatch butthole spray and then Sasquatch's dick.
What?
Sasquatch's dick.
Yeah, what was he doing?
Watch Sasquatch be like 7 feet tall and then his dick's like 2 inches. Is it in yet?
I don't even know what to say to that. I'm just listening to you. Tia.
We're just riffing. The Vikings scouting department should try to find Sasquatch. That'd be your interior line problems right there.
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
Good solid frame.
Yeah, they're not afraid.
He's just throwing people into the stands, blocking.
Problem is, Sasquatches don't like to be seen.
What's
like incognito on the football field.
penalty? 10 men on the field. Sasquatch. He doesn't have a number. He's just Sasquatch
10 men on the field. I don't get that one.
because he can't be seen, so he's not on the field. So it's a penalty if you have 10 men on the field.
There's no
Come on,
penalty
now.
for having 10 guys on the field.
There is a penalty for 10 men on the field.
There's no penalty for 10 guys on the field.
Look it up. The Denver Broncos, when Demaryius Thomas died a couple years ago, the first play of the game took a penalty because they did 10 men on the field.
I don't think there's a penalty for 10 men on the field.
Okay, look it up, bro.
For offensively, there's a penalty for 10 men on the field. Maybe defensively, there's no penalty for 10 men on the field.
Yeah, defensively,
Yeah.
yeah. Offensively, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll buy
Maybe.
that. I'll buy it. I'll take that one.
Come on.
Squatcher. Yeah, Squatcher's playing football. What a story that would be.
Holding
Okay.
Sasquatch.
What's that?
Holding Sasquatch.
Yes, holding Sasquatch. Oh, all right, T-Bone. Thanks for taking the time today. Appreciate your willingness to go through this journey with me.
You know I'm always here for you, except when my alarm doesn't go off.
Did your alarm really not go off, or you just not hear it?
Yeah, 7:07. I woke up and was like, oh no.
Forgot to set my alarm.
Yeah.
Did you actually set your alarm at 3 this morning?
I set it for the picture, but my alarm didn't go off. I did a 5, a 5:15, a 5:30, and a 5:45.
Man, that sounds like me. Set
So-
mine for 5:01 a.m. Out of
Usually,
bed at 5:45.
Usually I'm good for just setting one alarm. I'm not like I need 17 alarms type of guy.
Yeah.
I'll hit snooze a few times though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I don't like. I would like to be a guy that is just 5 a.m. boom.
Pop out of the bed.
Yeah. But if I like get up and go pee or like walk downstairs to let the dogs out or something, then I need that like 5 minutes
Yeah. Totally. Makes sense.
to be up. And then I'm good. No matter what time it is. Sometimes it'll be like 2 a.m. and I'm like, all right, well, I'm up. Mm-hmm. So
All right.
Don't know why
Cool.
I just explained all that, but okay.
Well, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Now we all know your morning routine. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you got some work to do to work on a ball sack with headphones around it.
All right.
But everyone,
Eric.
thank you for watching and listening to this show. Wherever you're listening, Tony, thank you for your time and pleasantries.
The pleasure was all mine.
Bye-bye.